Welcome back to another video. So today I'm very lucky to have the camera lady. Reason, it's going to be difficult to shoot a video like this because we want to cut some grass today. This is actually the second shot. We had a go the other day. It was very windy here. And the noise was just, it was just too much. So anyway, today it's a little less wind. Hopefully you can hear me all right. And it's all about the Suffolk Squire motor mower, one of my favourite mowers. In fact, this is probably my earliest Suffolk side wheel petrol mower. So just to refresh you that maybe people haven't seen them, this is made by the Suffolk company, who are very well known for making the Suffolk Colt, the Suffolk Punch, the Pony. They also did these side wheel petrol mowers, a little bit unusual. They were really sort of designed for sort of orchards, semi-long, semi-rough grass. Now what's interesting about them is they are a 19-inch cut, which is a little bit unusual. A lot of machines tend to be 20 or 18, something like that. So it's a slightly unusual size. I'm not sure why, but the Squires and the corporations were 19-inch cut. So 19-inch cut, we're going to go on to the engine. This is the cast iron 75cc Suffolk 4-stroke engine. Now, this one's quite an early machine. I think it's about 1958. It's got a few telltale signs which I'm going to go through, which is the engine itself is a silver colour. The later Suffolks were painted grey, and this is the early one with the, I'm going to get the camera lady to come in a bit closer and then we'll have a look. This has got the earlier type filler dipstick, which is on this little split pin there. The later Suffolks had a fill and dipstick, which was on the front of the engine. So this type is the earlier type, and you've got this type cowling on there. The later Suffolks, it was incorporated with the recoil cowling. And then the camera lady's going to go and have a look round to the starter. We've got the old-fashioned type. It's a cup starter, so there's no recoil. We're going to wrap a bit of rope round that, and then hopefully it starts okay. So we've got that old type starter on there. We've also got the flat fuel tank on there. That's another slight giveaway. And then if we go back round to the carburettor, which the camera lady's going to have a zoom in on. So we've got the early Zenith carburettor with the banjo feed, which is there. The later ones just had an elbow. It wasn't removable. We've got the early type exhaust. That one has actually been replaced, but it is the early type exhaust on there. And what the Suffolks tend to have, the Squires and Corporation, they have this little elbow on the side here for the air filter. Now what that does is it pokes the air filter to the side. Without that, the standard filter just sits underneath and picks up all the grass. So on the Squire and the Corporation, you had this little elbow to keep the air filter from picking up too much grass. And if we get the camera lady to sort of come round to the front of the machine, we've got the early handlebars like this. The later Squires and the Corporations had the more sort of upright handlebars. This is the early handlebar. And very lucky, we've got a grass bag with this. The Squires and Corporations, they didn't have a box as you know it, it's a bag, and this sort of canvas type stuff. I'm almost certain this is original. You can see it's a bit tatty, but it's all there. In actual fact, if we look at the last owner's got in the box there, written Suffolk, red and green. I know the last owner did have more than one of these. The box fits all the same. And the way it just sort of hitches up on the handlebar there. And you can use this with or without the box. So if you want to collect the grass, box stays on. If you want to take it off, it'll just spit it out the back. So it's quite a good universal mower. It will do quite a good job. We're going to cut some grass in a minute. We're going to try some, it's fairly long when you look at it. It's quite nice and dry, but it's fairly long, a little bit rough. We're going to try and cut some grass with it. So we'll go through the starting procedure. pre-flight checks, as I like to call them. So first thing we're going to do, we're going to just check the engine oil, and we're going to go on the little dipstick here, have a look. So we've got our little dipstick, and it's basically a split pin with 2 cuts. It should be, the bottom one is the minimum and the top is the maximum. So we just drop it in, twist it, and it is actually registering a bit over full. But if you look at the mower, I've got the roller at the back here. We can get the camera lady to come and have a look. It's set quite high. So the height of cut is done on this bracket here. So what you do with it, if you want it to cut high grass, you loosen the pinch bolts on the side, one either side, and you drop the roller down, which increases the height of cut. If you want to go lower, again, loose, bring the roller up, and it will drop the back of it down for a lower cut. Very easy to do. And then, as you need to do every so often, you've got your on cut, which is done with the adjustments, 4 screws there, and that sets the bottom blade in contact with the cutting cylinder. So you've got that nice scissor action. At the moment, it should be cutting quite nicely. So we're going to have a go at starting this, getting it going. Hopefully it will go start up. The first thing we're going to do is just disconnect the clutch on the side here. So let's have a look at this. So we're just going to bring that out. That does a couple of things. It allows you to start it up and then warm it up without the thing disappearing. And the other idea of that centromatic clutch on there is if you hit something, the idea is instead of damaging the cylinder too much, this disengages itself and hopefully doesn't do any engine damage. The engine is a centrifugal clutch on there. So obviously when it's idling, it should just be quite happy. And then once it's engaged, you give it some throttle and it should take off. So we're going to have a go at getting it started. So we've got that disengaged. We're going to turn the petrol tap on. We've got the nice brass lever type tap on there. And we're going to just tickle the carburettor a little bit. And we're going to put full choke on, which we'll get the camera lady to come and have a quick look. If you've not seen a Suffolk with a Zenith carburettor, this little lever here. So we'll put it up like that. That's horizontal, that's full choke. So we need that to start it. As soon as it starts, we'll probably run it sort of halfway. And then once it's warm, it will go into the vertical position. So we'll go up. For cold start, we've tickled the carburettor, a little bit of throttle, and we're going to see if we can get this going. Let's have a go. Half choke. Let it warm up a little bit. So we're going to take it right off choke now. It's idling nicely. We're going to engage the clutch by twisting and letting it drop into gear, like so. So let's have a bit of grass cutting. Better just put that box back on. Getting a little enthusiastic there. So we've nearly filled the box. I think we'll just try it without the box. We'll do some rough cutting. Right, so we're going to have a go without the box. I think what we're going to do also, I've used these on banks before and they are very, very capable. As you can see, we've got quite a steep bank there. And they do cope quite well. So we're going to just try it on the bank as well, do a bit of bank cutting. So let's have a go. So there we are, a bit of bank cutting. Now, as we know, it's a 4-stroke engine. It's a splash feed system, but we're keeping it on the move all the time. So I think we're okay with the lubrication. I think if we were holding it in one place for too long, we might have something to worry about, but it's on the move all the time. And you can see it copes with it really well. And being a cylinder mower, it's done actually a nice job. It's actually cut it properly. So we're going to get the camera lady to sort of zoom down on the bit here we've cut with. So we've collected that bit, and then that is cut on a bank without the box. So I think what we'll do, we'll have a little go at hot starting as well, because that's always quite a good test for an engine, whether your coil's all right and the engine's in good nick. So let's have a go. So we'll turn it off. Again, I think I will just disconnect the clutch. There we go. Little bit of throttle. So there we go, a short video. Suffolk Squire, 19-inch cut, about the 1958 age, with the grass box as well. I hope you enjoyed it. If you've got a Suffolk and it doesn't go, worth having a go. Nice mowers to use, very usable. The only problem is like most cylinder mowers, you do have to be careful with stones. But apart from that, a good mower. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.